Alright, we're working with a half-inch stainless steel hose clamp here to make the hook plate. And I actually have the cutout for the hook plate drawn out already. But just what you need to know when you're buying it, try to get one that is at least, what is that, 5.5 inches in diameter, because it has to be able to fit around the hook. It has to be able to fit around this plastic piece. And also note that I'm going to leave the dimensions, the arc length for the outer part and the arc length for the inner part in the description, so you guys can use that. Same with all the materials used in the video. I'll leave that all in the description. Alright, I drew a diagram of what we're going to be making. I'll let this sit for a second if you want to grab a screenshot or something, or pause the video. But alright, so here I've drawn it out onto the hose clamp, and basically what I'm showing in this diagram is here's the hole. The hole's 0.5 centimeters wide, and in my hose clamp, when I bought it, it was about I think this is a 1/2 inch hose clamp, and we need to taper that down to about 0.95 centimeters in the part we're going to be using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Dremel to pretty much take off this this edge right here, and then we'll be centered. And I'm going to make sure that this is pretty centered too, to the best of my ability. And yeah, and then it's important that you give yourself extra room on the sides, because I don't know if you have seen a picture of the hose of one of these hook plates. I don't know if you haven't seen a picture of one. I'll put one up on the screen. There are these bends on either side, so give yourself some room on either side of it, so you can easily bend it with some pliers or a clamp. Alright, now that I got the Sharpie all drawn on there, the dimensions, I'm going to use the Dremel and I'm going to cut away. Something I learned from doing this twice now is that it's important when you put your pipe clamp on the PVC, you want to get it to the edge, because you don't want to burn away and melt the PVC pipe. You're better off just to do this, because this makes a really bad smell. Alright, I just finished doing a bit of cutting. I'll show you guys the progress. I don't know if you can see that. But I got this inner part, oh, it's hot still. I got this inner slot on either side, and I took off the edge here. And now I think I'm going to go with a file and try to get that off as carefully as I can. Alright, let me get this thing off. Let's melt it on. Pretty good. Alright, now it's time to do some of the more detailed work. And for that, I'm going to switch out this blade to something with a sanding file on it. Alright, I did the best I could with the sanding and the polishing and to try to make it nice and smooth, which it is now. No burrs on it. It slides through there pretty nice. everything's the right width and stuff. And now it's just time to cut, and then I'll show you how to bend it. Alright, when I'm gonna cut this now, and when you go to cut it, it's important to make sure that you try to give yourself as much room as you can, because it'll just make bending it easier. So I'm gonna cut at about here. Alright, now that I finished cutting the recoil decompression hook plate, I'm gonna go on eBay. Have given us great pictures on how to bend it. There we go. So using these photos, I'm gonna go and this gimbal's slow, sorry. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna turn it into this. Alright, now we're on bending. Bending's probably the hardest part because you've worked hard on your hook and now you want it to actually function, so you gotta bend it. So I recommend buying a couple extra of these clamps, and then when you make them, you can cut them up. You don't need to do the whole process. You can just take it like this, bend it, and practice a couple times until you get the hang of it. So here's the one I've done. Here's a couple of the practice ones, and now I'm going to do the real one. I've been using these pliers, and they're pretty good. I guess a vise would be okay. I've tried a vise once, and it didn't work well for me, so I'm going to stick with this. Alright, the first bend I make is the more complicated one. It's this one right here, because if you mess this one up, you can turn it easily into this one. But if you mess this one up, you can't turn it into this one. So I recommend you start with the complicated one. I'll put a picture up on the screen if it's not already up. So you're going to clamp it, and this one's not a very long bend. It's kind of short. Well, I guess I'm going to... Okay, let me actually take a little bit more off this. Where's my glasses? There they are. Sorry. Hot. Okay, I touch it every time. Ow, fuck, that hurt. Alright. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take this end. We're going to do the more complicated bend first. And you want to get it a couple of, maybe about a centimeter or two into the pliers. It's not the first one you make isn't a very big one. And you're going to bend it with the curve. Not against the curve, with the curve. You're going to go down. Ooh, it's actually harder. So I've bent it with the curve. And now you're going to take it and you're going to do another bend. Try to finish this one off over here. Alright, that's good. Alright, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to grab it like this, and you're going to bend it back. This metal is very stiff now. that. And you get this little triangle. Alright. Sorry guys, I realized I wasn't recording when I did this bend right here, the vice grip, but I done the triangle, which you all saw, and then this one's the easy one. You just take it and you pretty much bend it like this one we bent with the curve. This one you're gonna bend against the curve and bend it up. But I already have it bent, so I'm not gonna do it again, but it's very simple. You can see it in the picture I put up too. Right? Alright. I got this is the hook plate, it's all finished. All the bends in it, like you saw. Could use a little bit more sanding on the edge, but it's good. Like it doesn't get stuck on anything. It slides really nice. I'll show you how it slides. You can see it rides up. And then it falls back down. Just like it's supposed to. Comes up. Then it slides down. And it fits in there really good. Yeah, and you can make your own. It's real cheap and doesn't take too much time, and it's worth it. 'Cause it'll save you a bunch of money. Alright guys, I just finished editing up this video and I realized there is no ending, so I'm going to make one now. Alright guys, this was my first video, so I apologize if there was any editing or filming errors. I'm sure it's going to be a bit rough to watch, sorry about that. I hope some people found this video helpful. I know that these decompression parts are hard to find and they're also expensive to buy on eBay, so that's kind of the reason why I made the video. Alright guys, I plan on making a part 2 to this video, where I show you how to make this part, which is the housing unit. It's the plastic housing unit where the hook plate slides into. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe, and so you don't miss when I release this video.